YouTube joining Twitter and Facebook and suspending President Trump from his account.
YouTube will reportedly not even identify the offending video. What does that tell you?
Joe, can you describe what it might take for, this to come back and bite those people who at this point are now celebrating this? Because right now, it is obviously a lot of conservatives who are saying that this is happening to them, that they're being censored. But it's not that difficult to imagine a world in which everybody might be affected by this at some point.
There are millions of Americans, almost all white, almost all Republicans, who somehow need to be deprogrammed. It's as if they're members of a cult.
At our worst, this country has always been about white supremacy, at our worst. And at our best, it's been a multiracial coalition of those of goodwill. And that's been the struggle throughout our history. And recent events have seen the ascension once again of the multiracial coalition of those of goodwill. And what we've seen is that strain of white supremacy mixed, by the way, and it's a toxic mixture of that on the one hand and people susceptible to low quality information. So they're susceptible to lies from their leaders. We saw that toxic mix rear its ugly head in the face of a triumph by the multiracial coalition of those of goodwill.
35 states have filed antitrust lawsuits against Google. Facebook has had 48 states file antitrust lawsuits against them. Apple also currently has antitrust lawsuits filed against it. And Amazon is being charged by the European Union with an antitrust lawsuit. And that's nothing! These suits allege these companies are currently operating illegally, but that's crazy because they're not. Because they save the public from illegal activity happening on Parler. So, how could they be operating illegally? They wouldn't accuse someone of doing something that they themselves are doing, but only much worse. They wouldn't do that. However, a question raised by the public. Is it a monopoly when the monopolies of Twitter, Facebook, Google, Apple, and Amazon band together to form one enormous monopoly that's capable of making anything happen on planet Earth that they want? Answer: no, that's not a monopoly either. All this monopoly talk might make you wonder what Bill Gates is up to. We haven't heard from him in a while, have we? Yeah, he's still over there running COVID.
So people assume we are just going back to the good old world which we had, and everything will be normal again in how we are used to normal, in the old fashion. This is, let's say, fiction. It will not happen. The cut which we have now is much too strong in order not to leave traces.